Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another fragrance rotation video for the week ending the 19th of February 2023. Bonkers. It is very, very strange how quickly this autumn and winter season has gone by. Very strange, unsettling, unnerving, if you will. But here we are. So, we shall start first at the beginning, as we always do, friends. And on Monday, I wore myself a fragrance I haven't worn enough of, even though I have worn a bit. And this is Vetiver Oriental by Serge Lutens. As you can see, this is the Palais Royal version. I managed to scoop up 5 bottles of this for £50 a piece about 2 years ago. Absolutely marvellous. I enjoyed it greatly. You can now pick up 1 bottle of this for about what I paid for 5. But there we are. This is vetiver and cacao. It is strange. It is a green vetiver. The oriental or the oriental aspect of this is... It's not like a typical amber. This isn't like Ambra Sultan with vetiver. It's very green without being that kind of minty, vetiver, you know? It's blended extremely well. There's iris and sandalwood in this, which gives it that kind of creamy, smooth, rounded aspect. There's also dark chocolate in it. And the dark chocolate provides a bitterness. Imagine chocolate without any of the milk or the sugar. You know, a green, dark chocolate. Very interesting. Very artistic, very artsy, very Serge Lutens. Be strange if this was in any other house had put this out. But it's Serge Lutens, so it makes a lot of sense. Tuesday, I decided to wear something for the first time. I've been threatening to wear this for a while, and I think this is only the second time I've worn this, but this is my favourite type of patchouli, and this is patchouli kosher. This is a syrupy, slightly sweet kind of patchouli. It's got incense to give it that kind of sharpness, but it's also got chamomile and honey to give it that soft kind of gloopy sort of thing. I get something like a soft leather in this too, like a suede kind of thing. I think there's also some yellow floral in here, but it's not very strong. This is one of my favourites, if not my favourite from the house. I used to have Sultan Vetiver, which was beautiful until the dry down, when it just became a long, yawning amber wood, dark, smoky wood sort of thing, which are just awful. So this is currently my favourite from the house. I wouldn't pay top dollar for this. It is only a 50ml. The performance is tremendous. You can get them at discounters for like £100, and that's about what it's worth. Quality for £100. 50ml bottle, performs all day. If you like patchouli, if you like soft, kind of rounded, smooth patchouli, this is one for you. Next, Wednesday. Oh, I wore one of the best fragrances in my collection. And this is Femroshas Parfum de Toilette. I believe this is an 80s bottle. And it is absolutely sensational. It is a Rudnitska special, I believe. This is plum. It is a little bit of warm spiciness. There's like some cinnamon and some clove. There is peach and more plum. There's leather. There's oak moss. It is fantastic. I haven't smelled like ultra modern bottles of it, so I'm not entirely sure what this smells like today. But I have 3 different versions of this, and they're all absolutely sensational. I can almost guarantee that modern bottles of this, which you can get for next to nothing, by the way, at discounters, will smell better than 95% of what else is out there, like in department stores at the minute. Because it's just an absolutely beautiful fragrance. Performance is massive. The transitions, the movement in the fragrance is beautiful. It's amazing. Cinnamon, plum, clove, oak moss. Crazy. Works perfectly. A little bit resinous as well. Anyway, moving on. I believe this may be a debut on the channel. It's not the first time I've worn it, but it might be the first time I have had this on the channel, and this is a very rare and very discontinued tower fragrance. And you'll just have to take my word for it, because there are no identifying markings on the bottle. Actually, there might be some on the bottom. Yes, there is. Can you see? This is Lonesome Rider by Tower. This is the sequel to Lone Star Memories. It does not smell like Lone Star Memories at all. They are very different fragrances. I get a kind of gasoline type of thing going on with this fragrance. This was released in 2016, but was discontinued within a couple of years. It didn't last very long, I'm afraid. Not as successful as its originator. Tower doesn't do flankers, but he does sequels. That's sort of like the shtick, I believe. This is leather, iris, incense. I think it's the incense that gives this kind of petroleum vibe, you know, because the Tower incense is a bit like that. It's also got vetiver and rose. The vetiver and the leather are what it has in common with Lone Star Memories. It's an interesting fragrance. I wouldn't say it's a must-have from the brand, though. I like it because it's a good fragrance. I like it because I like the rarity of it. I like how different it is, but it's definitely got overtures of Fahrenheit to it. Whenever I smell it from the cap, I get more and more of the rose, but when I get it on skin, I get more like vetiver, incense, leather. It has something in common. The vetiver has something in common with vetiver oriental, actually. I hadn't noticed that until I just smelled it there. That's interesting. Anyway, Friday. On Friday, I wore one of my favourites, one of the favourites of the channel, and one of my favourite designers in general, but definitely one of my favourite designers from the 2010s, and this is Gucci Guilty Absolute Vetiver and Leather. Once again, Cyprus. give it a very dry, almost burning kind of aspect to it. It's got a heat. It's got a smoke. It smells a little bit dangerous. It smells like you've been working. It's a modern, I think this is like a modern Fahrenheit. It obviously hasn't taken hold like Fahrenheit has. They should have released this in a standalone presentation. Although I do like these bottles, they're very ergonomic. They feel great in the hand, especially this 90ml size. These are becoming more and more rare, and the price is going up. It is a cult classic, but I think it flopped in the stores. People like me saying that they love this stuff. So out there for a designer fragrance, considering what else is going on. So fair play to them for releasing it. I didn't think they had it in them, but they did, and thank God. I absolutely love this stuff. You can tell by the size of the dent I have put in the bottle, and I will continue to put in this bottle. So that was Friday. Saturday, which is yesterday, I decided to wear one of my latest pickups. And if you have been watching, or if you were listening to last night's stream, you will know that my scent of the day yesterday was Unum Laus. Pronounced Laus, I believe. Not Labs. It's the Latin V, which is a U. Which is an absolute nightmare. I've just sniffed that and it's going to make me sneeze because it is extremely incensey. Excuse me whilst I sneeze. I do beg your pardon. That is extremely incensey. If you smell it too hard from the cap, you will get that reaction to it. This is a fantastic incense fragrance. I don't have many incense-based fragrances. I've got this, I've got Avignon. Oh, God. I had another one that was right on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember it. Apologies, it's gone. But I rate this highly. I did some first impressions on this brand, and this had came recommended from Jura Rose. So I got 2 samples of this. When I did my first impressions, I wasn't overly enamoured with it, but this just goes to show the limitations of first impressions. They do have some value, but you are certainly better served by trying something over a period of time. Don't just blind buy stuff. Don't just buy stuff quickly based off hype and like the fear of missing out and all that sort of thing. Be considered, take your time, and you will come up with a winner. And this is a winner for me. This is fantastic. Black pepper, which adds to that dry incense kind of vibe, and maybe what's made us sneeze. Elemi, which is fast becoming one of my favourite notes. It's absolutely beautiful in this. It's gorgeous. There's Opopanax, which is a kind of incense, I do believe, but a little bit sweet. Labdanum, ambery. Beautiful. It's an absolutely stunning fragrance. I absolutely love it. I'm going to get a lot of wear out of this. I think that might be able to be one of those fragrances you can wear all year round, which is very much unlike the next fragrance that I have for you today and my scent of the day, because I do believe that this is very much an autumn and winter fragrance, and I will be sad to say goodbye to it for 6 months, but I must. And this fragrance is from one of my favourite houses, certainly modern houses. It is from the niche house of L'Indomitable, and this is Vanille Havane. A modern classic. One of the best scents of the 2020s so far. Assuming, of course, it was released in the 2020s, which I probably should have checked before I said that. I do beg your pardon. When was it released? Let's have a look. Thank God it was 2020. I'll take that. Goodness me. I was not re-recording this video. Anyway, this is awesome. It's a wintertime vanilla fragrance. It is beautifully supported by things like dried fruits and rum and cacao and tobacco. But for me, the star of the show is quite clearly and obviously vanilla. It's definitely my favourite vanilla. It's a grown-up vanilla, you know? It's perfect for the cold weather. Top cold weather fragrance. There are few better. Certainly in terms of blending and ingredients, but the overall, it is the sum of its parts, and the sum of its parts is massive because of the quality of the ingredients, the blending, everything lives up, everything has sort of come together to make this fragrance as good as it is. You know? It's a beautiful thing. It really is fantastic. It's hyped, and it's rightly hyped, frankly. I know they don't send out free bottles, so you know when you hear somebody saying this smells good, it's because they think it smells good. And it does. This is what niche perfumery should be. And all too often isn't. But that's another chat for another day. So, this has been my fragrance rotation for the past week. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you all again soon.